Assalamualaikum and a very good day. We are from Group 1. We present about ATM or CDM Computer for Banking. I am Nur Hazika and my other teams is Aina Zahida, Farah Hanani, Nur Izali Takifah, Hasanah Rizwan, Najah binti Ramlan and Nur Shamila binti Wazir. So for the introduction part, automated teller machine, ATM and cash deposit machine, CDM are electronic telecommunication devices which allow simple financial transactions to be made independently without supervision and or assistance from bank representative. ATM and CDM fulfills requirement of self-service technology SST, which is extremely necessary to banking services. ATM or service CDM is an application of embedded system technology, which is a microprocessor-based system. Z180 processor is the central processor responsible for internal operation of ATM and CDM, and it also typically applied in a credit card reader and modern technology. On the other hand, crypto processor is a coprocessor that handles security system of the ATM computer. Z180 processor is manufactured by American company Zillow Inc. Next, we will continue for general architecture by Nur Shamila.
Next, I will present about general architecture of the ATM. This is the block diagram. So next. It consists of Z180 processor, crypto processor, and peripherals. I will explain this by using the block diagram, the figure before. So this is the Z180 processor. It consists of control unit and ALU. Control unit responsible in controlling the operation of all system. It acquire the instruction from the memory and interpret them and will direct the operation. For ALU, it will perform arithmetic and logic operation. And the memory unit function to store instruction data and intermediate the result. For example, after the processor has processed the data, it will store the final result before it release it to the output unit. Okay. Additionally, we have input and output device, which consists of function keys, card reader, encryption pin pad. This for output is display and printer. It is private and confidential, so we need crypto processor. Crypto processor is in a packaging with multiple physical security guideline. Its main function as the keystone of a security subsystem for the ATM, which is really needed and suitable for the ATM. Next, we have vault. Vault consists of restricted device. The ATM is connected with the bank by using modem for the bank staff to monitor the ATM system.
Next, I will briefly explain about CPU technology. We are using Z180 as the central processor. Z180 is the second generation of Z80 family with a 32% performance increase. It is a 1-core, 8-bit high-performance microprocessor with an operating frequency up to 53 MHz. The advantages of Z180 technology is that it has a faster execution speed, enhanced instruction set, reduced electromagnetic interference noise, and also it has the power saving mode. 2-core has a total of 5 functional blocks. The 5 blocks are clock generator, bus state controller, interrupt controller, memory management unit, NMU, and also central processing unit, CPU. Is CPU registers and CPU operation mode of Z180 technology. In CPU registers, we have 2 registers, which is general purpose register and special purpose register. For general purpose register, 2 8-bit register can be paired to form a 16-bit register. The benefit of general purpose register or the function is that it can simplify programming in ROM-based system. As for the special purpose register, the general function is to hold program state and control various aspects of microprocessor function. Moving on to CPU operation mode, the CPU can operate in 5 different modes, which is normal operation, halt mode, IO stop mode, sleep mode, and system stop mode. In normal condition, CPU, the Z180 technology is already designed to be a high-performance microprocessor with low power consumption. But the improvement and enhancement in technology enable another 2 extra power-saving modes, which is sleep mode and system stop mode. The difference is that in sleep mode, only CPU is in stop state, whereas in the system stop mode, both CPU and peripherals are in stop state, which is stop mode can further reduce the power consumption. Next, I will pass on to Aina for memory module.
Now I will present about memory modules. So in the memory modules, it has memory management unit. The memory management unit will allows the user to map the memory into 1 MB addressing range. It also will translate the 16-bit logical address to external 20-bit physical address. In memory management unit, we have three types of register, which is common or bank area register, CBAR, common base register, CBR, and bank base register, BBR. Next, I will, the two of this figure is about an example of common bank area register. MMU used to interpret the 64 kilobyte of CPU logical address by using three separate logical areas, which is common area 0, bank area, and common area 1. So for the first figure, for the first block memory, if the common area 1 and bank area is greater than 0, it will have three logical areas, which is common area 1, bank area, and common area 0. For the second block memory, if the bank area is equal to 0, which is the reset condition, it will not include common area 0. For the third block memory, if the common area 1 is equal to 0, the bank area will not include it. If the common area 1 and the bank area is equal to 0, it will only have common area 1 and the bank area and common area 0 is not included. So for the second figure, this is the example for the first block memory, which is it will have three logical areas, which is common area 1, bank area, and common area 0. So for the value of common area 1, which is D, the binary value is 1101. So it is greater than 0. And the bank area is 4, and in the binary value is 0100. So it will have three logical areas included. So I will pass to Farah.
Okay, so hi, my name is Farah Hanani, and I will talk about the input and output module for the ATM machine. So I will start with the ATM machine's only content of 3 input and 1 part for output. As we can see, the input is control signal, internal data input, and external data input. For control signal, we have commonly read and write. So internal, we have clock, and external data input, we have sum of 2 peripherals devices connected to ATM machines. Next part is output. We have 1 part only, that is external data output. So we have kind of 4 peripherals or devices connected to ATM machines. Next, I will go to next slides. Next slides, we'll be talking about the input, the devices or peripherals connected to input and output module of the ATM machines. As we can see, we have 3 kind of input, that is control signals, content of read and write, and 1 internal data input, that is clock, and we have 2 external data input, that is peripherals connected to the input and output module ATM system, that is keypad and card reader. Next, we have only 1 part of external data output, that is speaker, display screen LCD, and receipt printer. Next, lastly, is cash dispenser. So when we are the user go to the ATM, we have to input our ATM machines, or we have to input our card. For input part in ATM, the user will begin the transaction with entering the card, and the card reader will take the account information, start a magnetic stripe on the back of the card, whether it's an ATM or it's credit, whether it's an debit or credit card. The host processor inside the ATM use the information to route the transaction the card holder in the banks. So the next process will be taking action for the keypad. So the keypad is crucial for the card holder to control the ATM and determine the transactions such as cash withdrawal or deposits. The keypad is also where the card holders enter their personal identification number, PIN for the account verification. So the keypad is a very common for the ATM. Any ATM will have contain a keypad and card reader. So hence, after an action taken by user, the control signal will take a role to write and read data, and the clock, that is internal data input, will synchronize the data before being processed by microprocessor and being stored in memory. So on the other hand, for the output, when we doing the transaction, we will see the process or every step of the transaction of the bank will be displayed on the screen LCD. So to inform the user how much money will be withdrawal and when it's going to withdrawal. So after they do a withdrawal process, the first thing that they will notice is the sound of the machine. After the user done with withdrawal, the speaker will provide audible feedback for the card holder when the user press a button. So the receipt printer is needed to produce a paper receipt of the transaction for the card holder. So that is all my part for input and output module for an ATM machine. Next, I will pass my presentation to the next member that will present the interconnection parts by Najiha and Hazika.
Next, for the interconnection part, in Z180 CPU, there are several pins that are related to the interconnection of this computer system. First, the bus ACK pin, which is the bus acknowledgement that indicate the request device, the PU address and data bus and control signal that are in their high impedance state. Second, the bus reg pin that function as the bus request pin. External device such as DMA controller use this input to request access to the system bus. Signal stop the CPU from executing new instructions and set the address, data bus, and other control signal into high impedance state.
as this request has higher priority. Next, the pin A0 to A19 address bus, which the address bus that produce 20 bytes address bus. The address bus provide the address for memory data bus exchange up to 1 MB and IO bus exchange up to 64K. The peripheral component interface express PCIe is used as high-speed serial computer expansion bus for crypto processor. Next.
DMA consists of three operations: modes for channel 0, which are memory to or from memory to or from input-output, and memory to or from memory mapped input-output. The first DMA operation is memory-to-memory transfer. Burst and cycle state are the programmable modes used to time the DMA operation. In both modes, DMA operation proceeds until termination happen. Next, DMA operation are memory to input-output and memory to memory mapped input-output. In both operations, the DREQ0 input is a programmable level or each sensitive that used to time the DMA transfer. Next, I will pass to Isati for the operating system and application.
So now we will look at operating system. There are about 3.5 million ATMs in the world that most of them work on Microsoft Windows operating system. And around 7% or more of the global ATM network still use Windows 7. It is also estimated that around 50% of the ATMs still run on Windows XP operating system, even though Windows XP is no longer supported in terms of its security updates and stability in year 2014. And the latter, Microsoft aims to extend the support for Windows 7 on January 14, 2020. So all the security update, application patches, and technical are no longer will be provided by the Microsoft. So consequently, Windows 7 based ATMs are not PCI DSS, means payment card industry and data security standard compliant. So they are at high risk, and consequently, Windows 7 based ATMs are not PCI DSS, which is payment card industry data security standard compliant, and are at a high risk since PCI DSS needs ATM to be updated with vendor supplied securities to protect systems from known vulnerabilities. This requires ATM network to be updated to new platform operating system, which is Windows 10, considering the data security. So as stated by the Central Bank of India, ATMs should upgrade the OS from Windows XP to Windows 10, although it takes a lot of work to upgrade from old Windows version to the new one. The financial institutes like banks have started to update their CDM or ATMs. So therefore, the latest operating system used by or CDM is Windows 10. Next application. So Windows 10 has a lot of application to ATM or CDM computers. One of the application is high security. In a position paper published by the ATMIA, ATMIA, Windows 10 increased the protection of customer data and advanced protection against malware and other form of cyber attack to ATM networks. Also, it gives more secure computing experience. Next, with the application of Windows 10 on ATM or CDM computers, the integration of technologies are enabled, such as IoT, smart sensors, biometrics, contactless access, or mobile-like interactions, including Zoom, Pinch, and mobile payments technology into the ATM fleets. This will bring to intuitive interface that enhance the consumer experience. In fact, by having the latest operating system, it reduces the maintenance costs. Also, the last one is Windows 10 has a 10-year support lifecycle of long-term service channel. Financial institutes will have a long support in place to support their business needs and provide long-term PCI compliance. Next, I will pass to Najiha for conclusion. Thank you.
In conclusions, ATM machine contains a lot of beneficial features toward users as advanced banking method nowadays. In fact, ATM system is associated with the bank transactions of the consumer and utilize the money association transactions from the consumer. ATM machines take a major role for consumers to do banking transactions such as money withdrawal and deposit from their bank account. Indeed, ATM machine is the efficient and fastest way to do simple banking process compared to the traditional way. Thus, by doing a research on the ATM architecture, it can help students which studies related to technologies to appreciate the architecture of the ATM system. Hence, through this research, students also able to improve the current ATM system and perhaps as inspiration to produce new technologies. That's all from us. Thank you.